He has power over all things. You see the recent COVID virus. See how something which you cannot even see to the visible eye. This this brought the entire world to its knees. This is his power. He can do whatever he wants, even through things which you cannot even see. So this is why we say that he created the human being and this universe to, number one, to recognize him. You know, the, as a Muslim, we worship no one but the Creator, and that's what we believe. This is the purpose of our life. And what does that mean by worshiping Him? Number one is to recognize your Lord, and number two is to show gratitude to Him. Because He's given us so many things. He's given us eyes, He's given us the stomach, He created us from darkness, He brought us into this world. He's never once asked you for anything in return. So this is why, out of gratitude, we worship no one but Him. And also number two is we have mercy to each other. There's a saying that the one who shows mercy to people, then he will receive the mercy from the most merciful. He will receive mercy from the Almighty. So what's stopping you from embracing Islam?
I don't know. I just like what do you say, like upbringing. So
Upbringing, yeah.
Just go with the norms, what you know. So
Most people, they either go in two directions. They either just follow the beliefs of their parents, or they diverge and they find their own belief, and they go on their own journey. But my intention in speaking to you is not actually to convert you or to make you Muslim, because that will never happen. You know why? Because you have your own mind, and my intention is to broaden your horizon. And as a fellow, what do you call it? As a human being who commits sins, all I can do is share goodness with people. When I share goodness with people, I hope that I will receive mercy from the Almighty. Because look, we're all sinners and we're all in need of His mercy. And I'd like to give this to you as a gift, my friend.
yeah, sure.
Do you believe in a creator, a higher power? Do you believe in a God?
Yeah, I believe in a God.
Yeah. So, can you name me a prophet or messenger that was sent by God to spread the word of God to the people?
I can't even prophet, but I know
Okay.
it's not like that.
So we call God, first of all. People have different names for Him. People call Him Jesus. I don't know, God, Zeus. Yeah. But as a Muslim, we call Him Allah. Do you know why?
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah. Allah. The reason we call God Allah is because, number one, the word God itself, it can mean anything. It can mean a statue, it can mean a tree. But we both know that God is not a statue, and He's not a tree, and He's not an animal like people claim. The definition of God, according to the Muslims, is, number one, that He is the one Almighty. He doesn't share power with nobody, and that He's eternal. He's the beginning without. He is the eternal one without a beginning, and He will remain forever. You see, every king that lived in this world, no matter how much wealth they accumulated, even they were defeated by death. But Allah, He's the only one who overpowers death. He will remain forever. A time will come when everyone here today will turn to dust. But Allah remains forever, the Creator. So that's why we call Him Allah. He is the Eternal One. He's the One Almighty. He has no parents and there's nothing like Him. This is the definition of your Creator. He is not encompassed by the universe, and direction cannot surround Him. He is not an entity that can be divided, and neither is He a substance that can be multiplied. He is one Almighty. This is Allah. How does that sound to you?
So, it sounds good, just to hear. Because me personally, I know a lot. I've got a lot of Muslim friends. So,
Yeah?
I've got school with them, and growing up with a lot of them as well. It's not really me, white people. I know a lot about Jesus and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never really bonded with them the same way I bonded with Muslims.
Wow.
I know I don't know much, but I know about obviously the mosque and prayers and Ramadan and all that. trust me, like a few years ago, I would never known about that. But like as of
Yeah.
like my upbringing with like friends and all that, I know all about
Wow.
it. So like, I didn't even know like Ramadan was like the way like you guys communicate with like the homeless and all that to make sure like you know how you fast.
Yes.
So you communicate with the homeless and all that to make like you feel as if you're one of them. It's that kind of
Communicate with who? Sorry.
You know, like when you fast and everything, like it's sort of is like you're trying to connect with like the homeless. You know, like that same way they're going through it.
Oh, with the homeless.
Yeah. I didn't even think. Me personally, I never knew about that. Like that's the reason why you did. I was like, oh.
You know, the human body has been designed in such an amazing way that it can last for hours without food and drink. And actually, once you kind of hit a certain time limit, your body taps into fat and it starts to burn the fat. This is called ketosis. And this is actually a healthy way of living. You know, so that way your body only starts to tap into the fat when the stomach is empty. You know, so how do you get there? You get there by fasting. And when you give your stomach a rest, you're actually giving your whole immune system time to reboot itself. And it's like you're detoxifying your body. So your body's re-cleaning itself. And it gives you mental clarity. There's so many benefits. But that's not the only thing. That's not the only reason why we fast. You know, because fasting has been commanded by the Almighty Himself.
Yeah.
So Him being the designer, He knows the benefits and He knows why. How do you say? Obviously, besides the health benefits, the spiritual benefits are that when you learn to control your basic human desire to eat and drink, that there's no other desire that is stronger than this.
Yeah.
So when a man learns to control his strongest desire, you know what happens? All other temptations fall under his control. He's able to control those desires too. The desire to, women, drugs, whatever. He's able to control everything very easily because he has mastered the strongest desire that the human being faces, which is the desire to eat and drink. So it's also teaching you to control yourself. This is why some of the best, some of the most disciplined athletes in the world are Muslim. Khabib Nurmagomedov, you know, is very disciplined because the lifestyle of a Muslim is kind of wired that way to make you a very disciplined man. This is why Andrew Tate became Muslim as well. You know, you see so many strong men becoming Muslim because they see the benefits, and they look around them, and everything else is falling into degeneracy, and that's what happens when they leave the divine guidance from the Creator, and nothing but degeneracy. So when we invite you to Islam, we are only inviting you towards safety, number one, and number two, to inviting you towards the mercy of your Creator as well. So this is a beautiful thing, you know, and I don't want to lecture you. Have you got any questions at all?
No.
No?
I think you answered everything for me.
Yeah?
I mean, me personally, like I was saying before, I know a lot of Muslims. I don't know too much about the religion itself, but I know about Ramadan and like the why you fast and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I never really knew why, but as I've spoken to my friends and everything, it's kind of mad to hear about it. And obviously from you guys as well. It's great to hear.
We're happy. I mean, what's stopping you from becoming Muslim then?
I don't know. I think my family, you know, my grandma's she's very strongly in her own beliefs.
What religion is she? Hindu.
Yeah.
Hindu, yeah.
Yeah.
You see, my ancestors are Hindu as well. But even in the Hindu scriptures, it talks about this one Almighty Creator as well. But unfortunately, Satan, he has misguided people in many religions. Initially, Christianity initially believed in one Creator as well. You know, it's in the Bible that God is one. It's in the Hindu scriptures, God is one. But unfortunately, people, they misinterpret it and they get misguided. You know, it doesn't mean that you completely neglect everything else. As Muslims, you take what is good and you leave what is bad. So when the day you become Muslim, that would be the day when you actually become closer to the Creator. You will become a better Hindu. You will become a better Christian. You know, because you are taking the good from everything. You know.
Yeah.
and whatever you don't like, you leave. You know. So you know, I'd like to just share something with you. Come with me.
As far as I know,
So everything here is free, by the way,
as far as I know,
and we
there
have
is no African
different topics
country
here.
in this world where Ahmadiyya movement are there and they are prevented from practicing.
This is how Muslims pray.
Number two,
Yeah.
there is no
This is
African
a brief
country
guide
today,
to Islam.
as far as my knowledge is concerned,